Welcome to Season 4 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, I was just having a nap. Speaking of naps, that is what we are talking about on today's show. The importance of sleep and why you need to get lots of it. Stick around to hear why a good night's sleep is so important for your health.
Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hey, Rob.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Question?
I'm a little tired, though. I'm a little tired this morning.
Yes. And we don't even have young kids anymore. Think of those poor parents with young kids that are waking up a lot.
Well, that is true.
Yes. I have clients that is really difficult to get the 7 to 9 hours sleep.
It's unpredictable. That's the problem. Yeah. You can't just it's like being on call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't miss those days.
No, and that's what this is all about. A question from a listener: can poor sleep really cause weight gain and diabetes, even if I eat healthy?
Oh, really? Even if you eat healthy? Yeah, well, sleep is super important.
It is. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing is our lifestyle. All our lifestyle factors really can affect circadian rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And what are our lifestyle factors?
Well, what you eat, your exercise, like your physical exercise, I suppose we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep.
Exactly. Yeah. And thinking of all of those things, like when you eat, when you sleep, when you exercise, how much you're eating, how much you're sleeping, how much you're exercising. Mm-hmm. So all of those can really impact the sleep quality and how well you fall asleep, how much you're waking up over the night. So we're going to talk all about this. And we do have some other episodes that we've discussed sleep before.
Mm-hmm.
We had some guest episodes like Shift Work, episode 62 with Jacob Hansen, who's a firefighter. That was a really good episode, all about what to do when you work shift work and how it can affect your sleep and your eating and metabolism and all that.
Yeah, just some strategies I think we talked about.
Yeah, yeah. And then the Shift Work in the Sky with the flight attendant, episode 134.
That was a funny one.
Nikki Hearns. Yeah, just about the strategies that people that worked like extreme shift work or like have extreme shifts to their circadian rhythm because of jet lag and the hours of work and the type of work. And it's really interesting. That was a really good episode for people to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Entertaining as well. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and then we did one on hormones and sleep problems, Nutrition Nuggets 59. So we're going to talk a little bit about hormones today. So I just wanted to refer people back to that one.
Perfect.
And then episode 16, one of our original episodes, it was on sleep problems and diet, more than just caffeine. And there's actually update with that in terms of sleep and diet. So we're going to talk about a study that just came out in June this year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then there's one we did on insulin resistance and diabetes, episode 159. So that is another aspect that we're going to be talking about because the question was, can poor sleep really cause weight gain and diabetes, even if I eat healthy?
All right. Well, let's get into it.
Yeah. So what happens when you do have a poor sleep?
Oh, you feel like crap. It's amazing. Like if you eat something that isn't quite, you eat some junk food or whatever, you still feel okay. You don't feel great maybe, but a bad night's sleep can just take it out of you for like a day or two. It's crazy the impact it has.
Yeah, actually.
You're grumpy and just like feeling like you've just, had everything sucked out of you.
it's incredible. Actually, after one poor night's sleep, your body doesn't regulate blood sugar as well.
Oh, is that
After one night.
that's an effect? Hey, yeah.
Yeah. And think of the chronically sleep deprived. Like that's the reality for so many people, especially I was just talking about young parents with young kids that are waking up through the night.
I think your body adapts, but you're kind of like a zombie. Like I remember that stage, and I mean, you learn, or your body learns to kind of cope with it, but you're not 100%. You're kind of like running like 60%, it seems, you know, like you can still get through the day, but not like super effectively.
Yeah, that it's so interesting because actually they've done studies and shown that the body has a hard time regulating blood sugar when you're sleep deprived. And even just one poor night's sleep, there's actually, it can affect your blood sugar, your fasting blood sugar by like 10 points can be increased by that much. And do you know why?
No, not offhand.
Well, there's a bunch of reasons, but we'll just go through them quickly here. So poor sleep can affect blood sugars by hormone disruption, appetite and cravings, inflammation and stress response, and then there's the long-term impact. So the hormone disruption, if you think of the lack of sleep, can actually increase your cortisol levels and adrenaline. And the cortisol can affect your blood sugar control.
Okay.
And decrease your insulin sensitivity. So your cells don't respond as well to insulin.
Right.
And the sugar stays in the bloodstream longer.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I think we talked about PCOS, the polycystic ovarian syndrome, that a lot of women are experiencing. And there is this connection with insulin resistance. And part of it is it could be related to sleep and stress.
Really?
And not getting, adequate sleep at night. So it's all like related,
sense.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're busy people these days. So
yeah,
it's got to have an impact somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard to get the, required 7 to 9 hours sleep a night, especially if your day to day is not consistent. So if you're staying up late and then you're having to wake up early, or if you are waking up at different times through the week. So you have to wake up super early in the morning during the week, and then on weekends you sleep in. So this actually is not super helpful for your circadian rhythms.
Yeah, because it's not consistent.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is too, it can, if we think of the cortisol, how lack of sleep can increase cortisol. If you think prehistoric times, if there's a predator going to come and eat us, it's fight or flight.
For sure.
We're going to run. We're not going to sit down and, I got to have breakfast first. Right?
Exactly.
So the body's in a stress state. And, we do this to ourselves with an alarm clock, or you set your phone and it jolts you awake in the morning. That actually increases your cortisol and adrenaline. And that's actually not super helpful. So when we're jolted awake and then, we're in this state of stress, and then we add caffeine, like first thing, that actually shoots the cortisol up more. So that's not great either for digestion. Like, especially if you are someone who has like indigestion or heartburn, having coffee first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, not the best idea.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
No, exactly. Yeah. And if you think with our GI motility, so the way our gastrointestinal tract works, if we're, fight or flight, we're not really in a rest and digest kind of position. So we might not be able to digest very well or absorb the nutrition very well. It might impact our digestion in terms of gas and bloating and possibly constipation, diarrhea. We know that constipation is kind of epidemic in North America, and it can be related to poor night's sleep. Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so back to the way that a poor sleep affects blood sugars. So we talked about the hormone disruption, and that can, impact the cortisol and then blood sugar levels. The sugar stays in the bloodstream longer. And then if you do this, if this is happening chronically, you can develop insulin resistance where your cells just are not as receptive to the insulin. So then your pancreas keeps putting out more insulin. So it's, it can lead to type 2 diabetes.
Right, right.
So the other influence is the appetite and cravings. So with the hormone disruption of the cortisol, and after we've had poor night's sleep, our hormone leptin, remember that's the I'm full hormone?
Right.
So that is lowered. So it goes down. So, and then our ghrelin, remember that's the hungry hormone?
Mm-hmm.
So the ghrelin,
It's growling.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
Because it's hungry.
I'm
Yep.
hungry. I'm hungry. So if you have had a poor night's sleep, your ghrelin is increased. So then you actually crave more food. And it's usually you crave more carbs and like the simple carbohydrates and sugary foods. And then that has a cycle of increasing the blood sugar more.
Right. Okay.
So spiking the blood sugar. And then it also can affect inflammation and your stress response. So sleep loss increases inflammation and worsens insulin resistance. We've talked about that. And then impairs the body's regulation of glucose. So this is all, it can have ripple effects with, if you think of inflammation, we can think of gut, we can think of skin health too. You've heard of beauty sleep.
I have. Yeah, I get it every night.
Oh, good.
Can't you tell?
Well, you do snore.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of the program.
No, actually, I want to bring that up too. It's really important to get more and more educated around different sleep conditions. There's actually 88 different sleep disorders.
Wow.
And sleep apnea is a big one. And, it actually can be quite harmful for if you are getting poor sleep or you're chronically not getting good quality sleep for day after day or night after night.
Or if you're annoying your sleep partner and then she's really grumpy the next morning.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
okay. It's all starting to make sense now.
Yeah, yeah. So this can be an issue. And I think, in one of the other episodes we've done, we talked about the sleep studies that you can have done. You get a doctor's referral, and then they watch what's happening with your sleep.
Yeah, they come into your house and watch you sleep.
Not quite.
No?
But if you're like snoring or if you're stopping breathing, this can impact the level of oxygen you have in your body. And
Yeah,
your
it sounds
brain.
like it.
There's lots of ripple effects that could be quite detrimental to your health. So, yeah, okay. The beauty sleep. So there's a predominant amino acid in collagen protein called glycine. So it's an amino acid and we get it in our diet. So glycine has been shown to help the body enter into a deeper state of sleep. And it's critical for skin regeneration.
Okay.
Because sleep is where the majority of our growth hormone is secreted.
Right.
So that's when that happens, and that renews our body through the natural process of cell division. And so the thing with not getting enough sleep or sleep deficiency, it can weaken the protective barrier, your skin, and then it can be more prone to dryness and cracks and acne and premature aging from the thinning of the skin and fine lines and wrinkles. So there is something to be said about beauty sleep.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's when you get consistently night after night, the 7 to 9 hours, whatever, some people need just 7, other people need a bit longer, like 9, but you're getting the amount that you need night after night, and your body is able to repair, have better blood sugar control, and have less inflammation and stress response.
Mm-hmm. I guess just because you're in bed for like 8 or 9 hours doesn't mean that you had a good sleep. Like you might have been not aware of your snoring, for example, or tossing and turning. Like you just feel like, oh, I went to bed at 10 and I got up at 6 and so I got my 8 hours sleep. But it doesn't necessarily mean it was good quality sleep, which is really important, right?
Oh, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the most important part.
That's
Not
right.
how long you stay in there, but how good it was.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And if you think of, you wake up and you have your coffee and then maybe you have, bagel or a muffin or a mocha latte, you go through the drive-through and get a sugary drink and it gives you this temporary boost, but then you're actually setting yourself up for more cravings later in the day. And I see this
or more coffee.
More coffee.
Yeah.
I see it over and over and over again with clients who have digestive issues, who have possibly blood sugar issues, and even people with type 2 diabetes. We did an episode, actually, I was thinking about this, on breakfast foods to include.
That like fuel your day kind of thing?
Yeah, or like the worst breakfast foods to include. So I think that list will show you some things that not to start eating every day for breakfast. Like once in a while, not a big deal, but if day after day you're having the same carby breakfast with no protein and it's like hardly any fiber in that breakfast, that can really set you up for more cravings later in the day. And then feeling more sluggish and needing, like you said, more caffeine or more
stimulant,
refined carbohydrates again, because you have those cravings.
Right. You can see the cycle, though. And I remember I was in it, too. It was probably when our kids were young because you don't sleep well. So you wake up in the morning because you have to start your day. You're probably rushed, so you don't have time for healthy breakfast. So you just grab something easy, like probably something that's carb-based, plus your big mug of coffee. And by noon, because you're tired and because you haven't had a quality breakfast, you need to eat again, and you're probably needing another cup of coffee because you're dragging your heels and you're feeling sluggish, and it just goes on and on through the day. And it all started because you didn't sleep well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're in a lifestyle where like your job dictates that you're not able to get a good night's sleep because of the hours, or you're staying up late, or you're getting up early, or you've got kids, or whatever it is, that cycle is going to continue for years. So it's really important to recognize that and try to break it, and at least, eat a healthy breakfast, try to cut back on the snacks and the carby stuff in the afternoon and the extra coffee. And
that's right. And we'll get into the kind of the take home message, like action for people. But you're exactly right. And the thing is, if you're chronically sleep deprived and your hormones are disrupted daily because of the hunger hormones, we talked about like insulin, your leptin, your ghrelin, your cortisol, all those are disrupted. And that can increase your blood sugars, increase your insulin resistance. So maybe setting you up for potentially prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. And then that actually increases risk of obesity also. And, over time with all these hormone changes, if you're continuing in this cycle, it can, increase your weight gain. And part of it too is you don't have the energy through the day to move your body. So if you're not getting a good night's sleep, then
you're too tired to exercise.
Yep. And then that's got the vicious cycle of exercise is helpful for bringing your blood sugars down.
Right.
That's one suggestion we have for people that have type 2 diabetes, and having a walk after a meal or after the dinner meal, if it's their biggest meal of the day. Having a walk really brings those blood sugars down, which is great because then you're getting, you're going to have better blood sugar control.
It boosts your energy too. Like even though it seems like, oh my God, I don't have any energy to exercise, exercising will boost your energy. Like when you're finished exercising, you'll feel a lot more energized than you did before.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And when you exercise, I mean, typically you're burning more fuel. You maybe need more nutrition. Maybe if you're just getting into exercise, maybe you're going to start eating a little bit healthier, or looking at the, we talked about the plate ratio, right? Having some protein and fiber rich food every meal and snack. And the plate ratio shows half the plate veggies and fruit, and then quarter plate protein, quarter plate healthy starch, like a whole grain would be great for a carb. So that kind of shows getting into a better routine for your eating can also help. And actually that brings me to this new study that came out in the journal Sleep Health, June 11th, 2025. So this summer, or just recently. So the title was Higher Daytime Intake of Fruits and Vegetables Predicts Less Disrupted Nighttime Sleep in Younger Adults. The Journal of the National Sleep Foundation was the journal.
Okay.
And it was actually in an article called Sleep Health. So higher daytime intake of fruits and vegetables predicts less disrupted nighttime sleep in younger adults. So what they did was the participants were aged 20 to 49 years old, and it was 6-week phases that they looked at, and their diet was logged. So they, had their app and logging what they're eating and sleep tracking. And they found that going to 5 cups of vegetables and fruits, so 0 to 5, it increased improvement of the sleep quality by 16% and decreased the night awakenings. So, and it was really amazing that the benefit was pretty immediate. So if you eat more produce that day, that night, you're going to get a better night's sleep.
That's amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
Wow.
Yeah. And what do you think maybe the reason?
Well, it activates the right things in your body to kickstart. That's a very vague answer, but
no, that's good though. It affects how your body works. It's kind of basic, right?
Yeah.
Like I show a picture of the human body, like just a line drawing to the participants in my different groups and in the grocery tours, the nutrition tours I do, and show that, you know what we eat actually affects every process in our body, and not to get too OCD, really about every morsel of food we put in our mouth, but just knowing the principles that what we eat affects how our body functions and how we feel. So our mood and our sleep and our movement and all that. It's
like we always say about putting fuel in your car. If you use bad fuel, your car's not going to run well.
Right.
And food is our fuel for humans. So it's the same pretty basic principle.
Yeah. And with the, if you think of the 5 cups of vegetables and fruit, that sounds like a lot for a lot of people. But if you think of, if you have normally 3 meals a day, maybe 2 to 3 snacks, and at your lunch and dinner, if you can get, 2 handfuls, if you're having a salad, then that's like 2 cups of salad. So some sort of vegetable, you can put vegetables in that salad. Or if it's cut up or cooked vegetables, it's just 1 cup. But you think of over the day, so you're having, maybe you have fruit with snacks. So that's included as, if you think of the cups, if you think of all of the vegetable and fruit you have over the day. So 5 cups, you're going to get a lot of good fiber, antioxidants, and all of these important vitamins and minerals that help your body work better. And also carbohydrates. So vegetables and fruits do have some complex carbohydrates, and that helps your brain absorb tryptophan that boosts the melatonin. So there is something to be said about not going to bed hungry either. So it's not great to have a big,
a heavy meal before bed.
Yeah, right before bed. That's probably not going to help you sleep, because your body, your gut has to digest, and it's it might disrupt your going to bed kind of sleeping. But if you ate an early dinner, say you had a dinner, 4:30, 5 or 6, and then if you're going to bed at 10, then having a snack before bed would be a good idea. So what kind of
exactly.
snack do you think?
I had yogurt last night.
So remember with you think of the plate ratio for a meal, and then you think of the plate ratio, you want 2 of those components for a snack.
Right.
So like trail mix and yogurt would be good. Or
that's usually what I have, like yogurt granola type thing, because it's tasty and it gives you everything you need.
Yeah, or yogurt and berries is really good.
Yeah, true.
Pretty common for a lot of people. Also, like if you think of apples and nut butter, peanut butter, almond butter.
Right.
Or even veggies and hummus. So there's lots of ideas for a healthy snack before bed if it's been a while since you ate.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes people think, oh, I'll eat a really early dinner and then I won't eat anything till breakfast.
Right.
And
because it's like a fasting kind of strategy or whatever, right?
It might be that, or just whatever, what they're doing in the day. But you know what? For some people, they need a little bit of food before sleeping, some sort of snack. Have you ever woken up super hungry?
Oh, all the time. Well, not all the time, but yeah, often. I've definitely felt that.
Yeah. And so it's waking you up because you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people experience this if they're dieting and they're like restricting their intake, and then they either don't eat enough through the day or they're not eating after dinner and dinner was early and waking up because of hunger pains. That's disrupting your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the nighttime eating syndrome, which we've talked a little bit about in another episode. And maybe we'll do a whole episode on that. But that is definitely, it's almost like shift work. Eating in the middle of the night is not great for your digestion or your hormones, the circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be sleeping at night. So, historically, that's what humans do is when it's dark, we're sleeping.
Mm-hmm. I know, like you're out for the night, you come home at midnight and you hit the fridge.
Right.
It's kind of, I've even questioned myself because it's like, why am I doing, I still eat because I like to, but it's interesting if you do sort of question why you're doing it, because you don't usually eat at midnight if you have a regular schedule of going to bed earlier than that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, eating at midnight's probably not a great idea.
No, usually not.
Yeah. So how do we reset our circadian rhythm?
I think you have to form a habit, a routine, don't you? Like of starting to go to bed and wake up at the exact same time for, I don't know how many days it takes, but
yeah, definitely a routine.
Routine,
but
yeah.
What I was thinking more is seeing natural light in the morning.
Oh, I see.
So within 30 minutes of waking up.
Like chickens.
Right.
Chickens are amazing as far as that. They know, like we've got chickens and it's really interesting to watch them because they know when it's time to go to bed without you telling them. Like they just automatically know, oh, the sun's gone down. It's been 15 minutes. We better go into our coop now. Like in every night. And the sun set every night is different, but they.
Well, it's pretty much the same from day to day. I mean, it alters over the season.
Yeah, but they keep up with that. It's amazing that they're in sync so well, and that's how we should be ideally.
That's how we were before clocks.
Yeah,
and
before light.
Yeah,
right. It's like, oh, there's nothing left to do because I can't see. So
right, artificial, like our modern living with the light and our computers and. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, it helps actually turn off the melatonin faucet by seeing the light.
Light does. Light turns off melatonin.
Yeah.
And melatonin helps you sleep.
Yeah. It's kind of like caffeine for the brain.
And our body makes melatonin. We're not talking about popping melatonin pills. Your body makes melatonin naturally, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Blue light is like caffeine for the brain.
Right. Keeps you awake. Activates your brain, stimulates it.
And which is a problem these days because a lot of people look at their phone in the middle of the night or check the time, or they have like the blue lights in their room, or they read their books on a device.
Right.
And so all of that might affect your melatonin production.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's better to avoid the blue light at night. especially after dark, as much as possible. And if you are reading on a device, maybe get some of those blue blocker glasses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not helpful. Like I said, it's like caffeine for the brain. And then if you're drinking coffee, so that's the other thing. We've talked about this before, but caffeine has a long half-life. So it stays in our system a long time. So if you're drinking anything with caffeine after 12, then...
Like as in noon?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that is still in your system when you're going to sleep, because the half-life is, half of it's gone at 6 p.m. if you drank at noon, but then you still have some in your system at midnight.
Yeah, and depending on how sensitive you are to caffeine, that could totally impact you. I know if I have coffee past, like strong caffeinated coffee past, say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm wide awake still. I can't sleep. I'm tossing and turning and, bouncing around.
Oh, yeah. And we know it's genetic, too. There's like different risk factors in terms of risk variance for your genetic profile. So everybody's a little bit different in terms of how they
their
process.
Sensitivity, right?
Yeah, their sensitivity to caffeine, if it affects their risk of high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease. And also if, it affects their jittery or anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So that is really interesting to find out, like what your risk variant is. So 1 in 5 people have the risk variant for anxiety with caffeine.
Yeah.
And 1 in 2 people have the risk variant for the gene that can increase your risk of high blood pressure and heart attack if you're consuming more than 200 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is about 2 small cups. So there is something to be said about if you do drink coffee or tea or have a lot of caffeine over the day, it might affect your sleep quality, but it also might affect your risk of cardiovascular disease and your blood pressure risk.
Mm-hmm. We did the genomic testing and I have that marker, so I have to watch my coffee intake. It was a bit of a surprising. I didn't think there'd be any relationship between how much coffee you drink and your risk of heart attack, but I was like, whoa, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. And the weird thing is you don't have the anxiety.
The jittery.
The 1 in 5. Yeah. So you have, you don't get the feeling of, the caffeine jitters.
I do though. Like I mean, but that's probably after a lot of coffee. But by then I'm like at well over the plateau of being safe for heart attack. So I've been lucky, I guess, that I've made it this far.
Well, and you don't have high blood pressure, thank goodness.
No, I don't. I don't think.
But you do snore, so that is...
Well, say I'm not perfect, honey.
I know. Okay, let's do a bit of a wrap up here. So can poor sleep really cause weight gain and diabetes even if I eat healthy? Yes.
Well, it affects
even with a balanced diet.
Yeah.
If your sleep disrupts...
Everything has to be in harmony, right?
Yes. Even with a balanced diet, if you have poor sleep night after night, the hormones can be disrupted. Remember the insulin, the cortisol, leptin, ghrelin, and that can lead to increased blood sugars, stronger cravings, and insulin resistance. And it can increase weight gain and risk of diabetes. And so let's just talk about some of the things that people can do. So
all right.
You first said about the routine, and yes, definitely. So keeping a regular schedule of when you go to bed within an hour, and the same thing, waking up within an hour. Like, so most days about the same, even on the weekends.
So let's say, okay, you want to get up at 7 o'clock every morning, even on the weekends. Is it okay to nap? Has any research been done on nap? Like, because naps feel great. And that's one way around, okay, I had to get up, it says Saturday morning, I had to get up early still to keep my routine. But if I have a half an hour nap in the middle of the day, then that's helpful, I would guess.
Awesome question. Actually, I do have I have an answer for the nap.
Good.
Yeah, we should do a whole episode on naps.
Yeah.
So it depends on when you're napping and the length of time.
Okay.
There was a study by NASA.
Interesting enough.
Yeah, and it actually 26 minutes. So the nap total time, 26 minutes. So not a long nap. And it's not like a, 5-minute nap, but a 26-minute nap can improve performance by 34%.
26 minutes, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And even a 7-minute nap can improve performance by 9%.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And a power nap is about 25 minutes. So it can affect your brain in different ways at different times of day if you nap. So say you got up really early at 4:30 or 5 a.m. If you had a nap at 9 a.m., that increases your creativity and your memory. If you have a nap at 1 to 3 p.m., like the typical siesta kind of time, that increases your alertness later in the day. If you have a nap later in the evening, it actually increases your focus.
Oh, interesting.
So neurologically, what's happening is you're clearing the adenosine and it accelerates the breakdown of that because the adenosine is...
What's adenosine?
Well, it's the same structure as caffeine, and the caffeine blocks the adenosine. So adenosine makes you sleepy. That makes sense, right?
Kind of, yeah.
So a nap can clear the adenosine. So when you sleep, it's clearing it out, like if you're having a nap and then you're more alert later.
Gotcha.
So yeah, a nap is probably a great idea for people that can do it. I think I love naps.
I know you do. And just for the record, wouldn't you think 7 minutes? How can you nap in 7 minutes? Sandra is like an expert at that. She'd go in for a nap 5 minutes before she had to be back at work. And I'd be like, you got to leave? What? What do you mean? And she'd go in and she'd be fully rested after 5 minutes and come out like brand new. It was crazy. It'd take me 5 minutes just to fall asleep. So yeah, it can be done.
Yeah. And there's like great apps for meditation.
Nap apps.
Nap apps, meditation, hypnosis. We did a few episodes on like
Guided meditation.
Body scan.
With Sandra's voice. Sandra's soothing voice.
Or walking through the meadow or walking on a beach or walking through the forest or, different ways to get your brain kind of disconnected from your body for a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's like Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So yeah, the regular schedule can help regulate hormones that affect your appetite and insulin sensitivity. So having the consistency is really important for that. Also winding down without the screens. So we talked a little bit about the blue light. So it's like a shot of caffeine for the brain and it reduces the melatonin. So, if you do use an iPad or if you're reading at night or you're looking at your social media or whatever, the blue blockers glasses, probably better idea to kind of give yourself an hour to turning off your device before you start to sleep. That is really good for your natural melatonin production. And you could do, as we talked about, like listening to calm music or meditation, some stretching, or just reading from an old-fashioned kind of book.
Old-fashioned.
I love those.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, there's a few more here. Evening eating, so avoid heavy meals. Sugary snacks can spike the blood sugar and can disrupt your sleep. Also alcohol. We didn't really talk too much about that, but a lot of people feel like, oh, it helps me go to sleep. Yes, but you get a poor quality sleep when you drink alcohol. So if you are having sleep problems, that's one of the first things you can do with including the caffeine, like looking at how much and when, but also the alcohol and really reduce that.
Yeah. Remember, it's not how long your eyes are closed, but like what happens, the quality of that sleep, what happens when your eyes are closed.
Yes. Yeah.
So like, alcohol will help you hit the pillow, but not great quality sleep. That's why you feel like crap the next day after you've been drinking a bunch. And
you're probably dehydrated too.
Yeah.
But the other thing is activity. So I mentioned about lifestyle, the lifestyle factors that affect the circadian rhythm, and definitely having exercise every day or some sort of movement, 20 to 30 minute walk or like 30 minutes a day of exercise is recommended. So you can do, 10 minutes 3 times a day. That, any kind of activity can help improve your sleep quality and your insulin sensitivity. But you don't want to do intense exercise right before bed. That's actually not helpful for sleep.
Yeah, because you're stimulating your body that way right when you're trying to, like slow it down.
Yeah, absolutely. The next thing is good, dark, quiet sleep environment and cool, right? So
like not hot.
Yeah. So
not
18
stuffy.
to 19 degrees or 65 to 70, 65 to 68 is better.
I like even cooler than that. I like a bit of a chill, but everyone's different. Yeah. So find what works.
But definitely not warm. If you have a warm room, that's going to affect your sleep quality. Watch your caffeine amount and timing. And we talked a little bit about that. So if you're going to have caffeine, look at like 6 to 8 hours before bedtime. And managing your stress before bed. So deep breathing, meditation, stretching, and yoga. And, if you do have diabetes or you're worried about that, you could do monitoring. So, track your patterns with your sleep and your blood sugar. So you can see that poor sleep might lead to higher fasting blood sugar in the morning. So it's really important to kind of know your system and know your body. And if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling, brain fog in the day, you have low energy, if someone says you're snoring, or if it takes a long time for you to fall asleep after your head hits the pillow, or if you get up multiple times through the night, or if you have to set an alarm to wake up, or you're feeling tired during the day, or you're sleeping in on weekends because you need to
catch up
over the week. All of these are indicators that you might be having issues with sleep, and it's pretty common in our society. And I really encourage you to look at your habits and where you can improve.
Exactly. And check out those other episodes we mentioned. We'll link those in the show notes. There's some really good information there. And like you said, sleep is such an important part of our lifestyle that's often overlooked by people. So something to pay attention to. If you want more information about what we're doing, or you want more great health and nutrition tips, check out our website. There's tons of great articles on our blog. You can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. You can send us your questions as well. We love answering listener questions on the show. You can email us at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And the website is mywifethedietitian.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us there as well. And if you like the show, let us know. We love hearing your feedback. You can also share with your friends. That's something else that's super helpful, and we would much appreciate it, as would your friend. And that is it for today. We'll be back on Wednesday with Nutrition Nuggets. So until then, have a fantastic week, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.